The evening sun hung low over the hills of Castelnuovo, turning the fields gold as young John Bosco walked home with his bundle of firewood. He was only 9, a farm boy with patched clothes and bare feet, but his mind was full of questions. Why did some boys mock others? Why did fights break out so easily? And why did he feel such a strange pull toward teaching and guiding them? That night, he fell asleep quickly, and then, like stepping through a doorway, he found himself in a wide open field filled with boys he had never seen before. Some were laughing, others were shouting, and several began to fight. John rushed forward, shouting, "Stop it!" He swung his arms like he had seen grown men do when breaking up arguments. Suddenly a voice called his name, firm but warm. "John, not with blows. You must win them with kindness." John turned and saw a man standing beside him, gentle, noble, calm. Near him stood a woman shining with a quiet dignity. John didn't know them, yet he felt no fear. The man rested a hand on his shoulder. "Watch," he said. The boys who had been fighting suddenly changed. Their wild faces softened, their fists lowered. The field grew peaceful. The woman approached and looked at John with motherly affection. "Make yourself humble, strong, and energetic," she told him. "In time, you will understand everything." John tried to speak, but the scene began to fade until everything dissolved into darkness. He awoke startled, sitting up in bed. The dream had felt real, too real to ignore. When he told his mother, Mama Margarita listened carefully. She had always known her son was different, intelligent, hard-working, quick to learn, and unusually sensitive to God. She didn't dismiss his dream. "John," she said gently, "if God is speaking to you, you must listen." From that day forward, John Bosco changed. He began gathering the local boys in the fields after Mass. Instead of shouting at them, he entertained them with tricks, acrobatics, and juggling. Once he had their attention, he taught them prayers, told them stories of good choices and bad ones, and helped them solve quarrels peacefully. The boys loved him. Years later, as a priest in the industrial city of Turin, Don Bosco would remember that first dream. He saw the same troubled, poor boys wandering the streets, orphans, apprentices, factory workers, desperate for guidance and hope. He opened a simple oratory for them, a place of games, kindness, prayer, and education. What began in a dream in a field with a group of unruly boys became a lifelong mission. Don Bosco would go on to form the Salesian Society, open schools and workshops for young workers, and become a father to thousands. But it all began with a boy, a dream, and the gentle instruction, not with blows, but with kindness.